Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rocky Top Resellers Live. My name is Ben, the Rocky Top Picker, and joining me is my new best friend. Please welcome Mr. Mac, Trailer Trash Flips, to Rocky Top Reselling Live. Hope you guys are having a great Hump Day Wednesday. We're here to talk all things reselling. And based on the conversations that Mac and I have had before we went live, you may be witnessing some rants, not only just from me, but from Mac over here. So who knows? But welcome in, everybody, and welcome, Mac. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get jumping into this thing because, we've got limited time, and I just want to ask you some questions about. First of all, you've got a YouTube channel, Trailer Trash Flips, and I think you're about 534 subscribers, if I'm correct.
500 something.
Yeah. So, hey, we got, if you're here in chat, if you got a question for Mac or myself, just put your questions in chat. And also his link to his YouTube channel is also over there in the chat box. Click on that. Give him a sub. We certainly would appreciate that, and I know he would too. But Mac, let's get started, man. I want you to tell our viewing audience about yourself and what you do and how you got started in reselling.
Well, I have a small carpet cleaning business, just owner operator, and I've been doing that about 23, 24 years. In the beginning, it was part-time. I had a full-time job, and at different points, I had really demanding jobs that kind of kept me from doing that. Since 2012, I've been doing that full time. And as far as reselling, I actually started reselling back in the early 2000s, here and there, just a little bit. And one of the things that really got me wanting to do it was we were going to go on vacation and we needed some money because I hadn't been married all that long. And we was like, well, let's sell some stuff on eBay because I had bought and sold a little bit. And in the course of a couple weeks, we sold like $700 worth of stuff from around the house on eBay. And that paid for our vacation. And I'm like, there's something to this. So I sold more here and there. And I knew there was more that I wanted to do with eBay at some point. But a lot of the times just working, I just didn't have time for it. At one point, I was getting up at 3 a.m. to go drive a route, working, and it just couldn't happen.
Yeah.
And probably about 6 years ago, just by random, I ran across Shed Flips video. And I didn't even realize they were local to me,
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, well, these people are doing it full time. I knew people did it in a higher capacity than just, here and there. But I didn't really realize that people were really making nice full-time incomes from it. And I started watching their videos and I'm like, well, look, they're right down the road from me and they're selling a lot of stuff. They're making good money.
Yeah.
So I kind of started amassing some inventory, getting things ready to go. And it's like, well, it's time to do it.
I got you. Let's holler at everybody we got in the chat right here. Of course, we want to welcome in Chris Easy Pickens is here. He is a member of the Locker Room podcast. He is an MVP member. Welcome in, Chris. Good to see you. Oh, Alex is waiting on the rant time there, Mac. He gets a kick out of it when I get into rants. Anyway, we also have Absolute Finds. What's up? Welcome in, Absolute. Good to see you. And here's first question. Alex is asking, do you really resell out of a trailer? That's his question.
I do resell out of a trailer, which is where I live.
Okay. Double follow up here. Is it at least a double wide? He's asking.
No, it's not. I mean, if I had a double wide, how could I really be trailer trash? Because I mean, that's highfalutin stuff there. I'm straight single wide.
Single wide, making use of every nook and cranny you've got, right?
Oh yeah.
That's great. Well, through the process of getting to know Mac before we went live, ladies and gentlemen, I was thrilled to find out a couple pieces of information. Number one, he and I are the same age. Hallelujah. Finally, I am the same age and not older than the majority of people that I've got on this show and in the locker room. So yeah, we're both 51. And not only that, we share the same birth date and month of January. So that's fantastic. Both been divorced, both got a son. We've got a lot in common there, and especially monster trucks and wrestling. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's exciting, man. So tell me this, man. Tell us, for those of you that haven't watched your channel, where's your favorite places to go sourcing?
My favorite is estate sales. That's my favorite. But I've sourced a lot more from these Amazon bin stores because they're so easy. And that's been kind of a double-edged thing from the beginning. Tons of products at low prices, but a lot of saturated items that I'm getting from there. But, if you watch my What Sold videos, a lot of them are still selling. Yeah. But I'm really trying harder. They haven't had many garage sales lately, but I have been trying harder to source from estate sales just to have the types of inventory you can't get from these Amazon bin stores. But probably estate sales would be number one and garage sales would be number two. The bin store, it's just easy to get a lot of stuff, usually pretty cheap.
So tell everybody the vicinity of where you live. Since you mentioned Shed Flips, Lonnie and Candace, you're in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, I'm just outside of Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, has yard sale season already started for you guys down there?
Last weekend, there was a couple, but I kind of thought it would have already started more, being that, we've got warm weather and it's not cold or anything. Right. There's some, but not a lot. Not a lot.
Okay. Hey, we want to say hello to Chad, Wolfman Goodies. He says, howdy, guys. Welcome in. And Chad also says, I take my shovel to the landfill at night for sourcing. That sounds like a Roman comment, actually, Chad. You must be hanging out with Roman a lot. You're starting to pick up on his comedic acts there. But yeah. Hey, I want to pause for just a second and just tell everybody here on the Rocky Top Picker channel, super chats are now available, although I'm not asking for any, but if you feel so inclined, they are available here. Also, there are now channel memberships to the Rocky Top Picker channel, 3 different levels. You can check those out at your leisure. If you want to join Rocky Top Nation in all things reselling, we would be happy, or I would be very happy to have you aboard as a member here on the RTP channel. So yeah. So we're here talking with Mac from Trailer Trash Flips, almost an infringement on Trash to Cash podcast. He's kind of flirting with that idea, I believe. Is that right?
Well, I thought Trailer Trash Flips was a little bit of self-deprecating humor, so.
Okay. I like the name though, dude. That's what first caught my attention when I saw that. Yeah. Want to say hey to Miss Mary, my favorite. Welcome in, Mary. Hope your day is going well. Thanks for coming in. Oh, wait a minute. Wolfman Goody has become a YouTube member. Thank you very much, Chad. Mac, did you ever catch my episode when I had Chad on here, Wolfman Goodies?
Yeah, I did. Matter of fact, I think I've seen every episode, but I did watch that one. Yep.
He is what I affectionately call the Mr. Rogers of the reselling community.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Chad, your videos are great, buddy. I really do enjoy them. But yeah. What's Alex saying? Not a super chat, 1 cent. Okay, cool. I'll take what I can get. Mary says, thank you, Rectap. I hope your was too. Yes. So, all right, let's get into this. So you like going to yard sales, estate sales. You've said in your video several times about bins. What's your take on it?
Well, the big draw is that you can source a lot of inventory at a very low cost. The drawback is you're not usually going to find big ticket items. Now I have. It's not, I went in and on 50 cent day when there's hardly anything left and found things I could sell for $20 or $30 that were simply passed over because they didn't look valuable.
Yeah.
So, one of the first things that I bought It was some kind of child seat harness thing. I bought it for $5. I sold it for like $90. So there are those items there. Unfortunately, now as word has gotten out, it's harder to find those things. And I typically don't shop on $8 day or $6 day, maybe on Sundays when it's $4. But typically I don't do 50-cent day too much anymore because it's really picked over. But like on $1 and $2 day, there's still a lot of stuff there to make money on. It's just you're not usually going to find items to make bigger money on, like I can find at estate sales or garage sales.
Well, tell us your decision that you made about starting a YouTube channel. How did you derive to want to start to become a content creator? And tell us a little bit about your video journey so far.
Well, I mean, that's really it in a nutshell. I wanted to just show everyone my journey from, I started at a year. Was that right? A year? Yeah. At a year, I started making videos just to show them after 1 year. And I actually wanted to start before, but I just kept putting it off. And I was like, you know what? I already bought the camera to do it. I'm just going to do it. So just to show someone with a part-time YouTuber what they're buying, what they're selling, how much they can make. I showed at the beginning of the year how much I made last year, gross total and well, net YouTube, not YouTube, net eBay total. But just to show people, if you're wanting to get started, here's what you could maybe reasonably expect. Because if you watch some of the bigger channels, if you're watching like Harry Tornado, that may not be your actual reality. Yeah. I'm going to bin stores and buying stuff for 50 cents just because obviously I want to make a profit, but other people can do that too. Yeah. And you don't have to start with a ton of money, and just kind of showing the whole deal,
Right. Well, I mentioned this before we went live, as I have concerns for your safety. And that's that big pile of stuff back behind you, dude. Yeah. That stuff looks like a big Jenga tower. I mean,
yeah,
you touch one little item back there behind you and all that stuff going to come crashing down, man. I mean, yeah.
It could happen. I'm banking that it's not, because it's been kind of like this for a while, but it could happen. Now,
is that part of your death pile, or is that listed stuff there behind you?
No, all this stuff is listed. All this is listed stuff right here.
Wow.
Now, none of this stuff sells. None. I pulled one thing off of the shelf in the last month, but it's this. Well, no, let me take that back. These two shelves are listed. I do have some death pile below here. Okay. My death pile is not. It's located. I'm going to use the word strategically across my house.
Okay, I got you. Well, one of the things that lit my crawl, I watched an episode, and I cringe every time I hear a reseller talk about not doing returns. That right there, dude, I'm telling you, if I could rant right now, I'd go off about that. But anyway, you and I have kind of touched on that, and you've done more follow-ups since you made that first video about not doing returns and all that. But, the fact is that we're in business that sells products. Returns is a part of this business. It's going to happen whether you want it or not. And my whole perspective, when I got started, I was no return, but, I realized that when a buyer is trying to judge or form some sort of confidence in you as a seller, it bodes better to do a 30-day buyer pay return or do free returns. It boosts their confidence in their purchases, is what I found.
And so, that makes 100% sense.
Yeah. So after I come to that realization, I just quickly just switched all that over, and, returns don't happen a lot. I'll tell you one thing that I will rant about, so get ready. If I've got a thing here, let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, yeah, here it is. I want to talk about this because 2 incidences has happened in the last 3 weeks, and Those of you in chat, let me know if you've had this experience. Mac, you can let me know too. First, a buyer came in and purchased a 1970s porcelain Indian statue. I shipped that thing off, packaged well, and shipped it off. Got a message a few days later from the buyer saying, hey, I didn't get my package. I want a refund, please. Well, I go and check the tracking, and the tracking states the following. Item delivered, and there was even an additional note saying individual picked up from post office. Now, I screenshot that and I sent it to the buyer in the eBay text message component. And I said, look, you can read what it says. An individual, it was delivered. That's a standard message in tracking. But it additionally said individual picked up at post office. There is no way in Hades am I going to refund you money when I've got the proof of delivery. Well, that buyer went off and was insisting, well, I checked my house and it wasn't there and it wasn't at the post. I said, then you need to contact eBay. But I will promise you, when you do, they will pull tracking, and I have 100% proof that that item was delivered and picked up. So whatever you do, you're probably not going to get the results you want. So that was a week or two ago. Then I log in today to my account, and guess what I see? A negative. So I immediately got into the chat module to an eBay agent, gave the item number, presented my case. I said, this is absolutely outrageous that I have been a seller for this many years and that I'm dealing with this kind of BS, that somebody is trying to get this thing for free when it's obvious to both them and myself through the tracking that they did get the freaking item. Not only that, the individual picked it up. So they said, absolutely, Mr. Dean, we see you've got solid proof. We're going to remove the negative feedback. All right, fine. Well, good. We put that fire out. Now, guess what happens today? I get another one from another buyer that says, I didn't receive my item. Again, I pull up the tracking. What does it show? Item delivered. So then I thought, well, I'm going to go a different route on this one. Well, I go to the post office. I'm going to go in here and ask them where I always drop my packages. I'm going to tell them about this situation. I'm going to see what they say. Oh, sure. Have your buyer call this 1-800 number of the USPS. Have them give them the tracking number of that said item that they did not claim. And the post office will do a GPS scan to find out exactly what carrier accidentally scanned it wrong or whatever the case may be. But it's our responsibility, Mr. Dean. You won't have to worry about refunding money on this item. That is the carrier's fault. So I took all that information, sent it back to the buyer this morning with the 800 number. Not heard any more since. But let me tell you what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on for them to either get the item and they still leave me negative feedback, or they don't call the number and they still give me negative feedback. And then I've got a freaking email or message eBay again to say, hey, unfairly, I was given negative feedback when the item shows delivered. Case closed. Kiss my white lily and have a nice day. Comments? Go ahead, Mac. Lay into it, son. I know you got something. Go on.
Well, I mean, I've only had 2 so far that said an item was not delivered when it shows delivered. And I didn't receive any negative feedback or anything. You know, I don't know when it ultimately happened, but I never heard back from either buyer. And
well, I need to ask people in chat, have y'all ever had that where they'll message you saying they didn't get the item and they're asking for a refund, but you've got proof that the item was delivered? Everybody in chat, let me know if you've had any of those experiences. And while you're doing that, I want to say hi to Keith, a locker room member, MVP. What's up, gentlemen? Keith has a great YouTube channel, Vintage Sports Flips. If you've not subscribed to him, be sure you go over on YouTube to do so to his channel. Chad, Wolfman Goodies. I had a total of 1,800 in returns in 2023. I know this because I did my taxes today. Oh, we don't even want to get onto the subject of taxes because I will blow my lid.
Now that will get me wound up.
Well, let's talk about taxes because I want the audience to see that I am not the only 51-year-old that can go on a rip because you did it before we went live.
Well, being self-employed all the way around, you know how hard you get hit on taxes being self-employed with not only the regular taxes you have to pay, but paying self-employment tax on top of that. Yes. That puts me at a 25% tax rate minimum.
Yes.
And that's with a ton of deductions. I mean, it is ridiculous. I actually got a letter from the IRS 2 months ago, right in December, from my 2021 taxes that I owed them more money. I'd already paid them multiple thousands of dollars. And I still owed them. You know why? It wasn't because I didn't say that I was the right kind of self-employed. That's what they said. There's more than one self-employed. Yeah. And I had to pay them another $1,100 on top of everything else. And I mean, I haven't even started doing my taxes yet because that will get my blood pressure boiling.
Yeah.
When I see, I got a decent income, but I have the cost of goods, mileage from both of my businesses, all the other deductions from those businesses, standard deduction, equipment purchases, maintenance, and you're still going to stick me with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, including that stupid self-employment tax that puts me at this astronomical tax rate.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people making $150,000 that are at the tax rate that I'm at with this self-employment tax.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Amen. Preacher, brother. See, guys, I am not the only reseller that can get on a channel and friggin' rant because Mac has got it down with me. So just don't get us both on a rant at the same time. We're going to blow this channel out. Hey, ABC Matt, welcome in. Never happened, but I hope I never have that problem. Well, I'm telling you, dude, with it happening to me, I've never had it at all last year. And now I've had it happen twice within 3 weeks is ridiculous. Keith, Vintage Sports Flips, thanks, Ben. Much appreciated. Of course, Keith, yes, he deals with sports memorabilia. He does a lot of game stuff over there on his channel. It's really fun and engaging. So if you collect sports collectibles and memorabilia, you want to go check out the Vintage Sports Flips. And who else we got? Red Woody, Reselling with Woody, red pen time. Yeah, because, it's color-coded when I'm ranting. I have a red pen. Woody, welcome in, buddy. He's also got a YouTube channel. You want to go check him out as well as ABC Matt's got a great channel too. What is taxes? I'm sorry, our IRS. I was just joking. Well, there are people that don't pay them. So yeah, that I can't imagine, I've seen videos where there is actually no written law that you have to pay taxes. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I've seen a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't pay them and just see what happens.
But if there's no law, then how could they serve up repercussion if there's no law?
Because it's the United States government. They're going to do what they want.
Well, that's true.
I mean, that's just how it is.
Who's your daddy? IRS and eBay is your daddy. You got twin dads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me this, Mac. What is the most least likely thing what is the least thing that you like about reselling in general? Yeah, think about that.
Well, I mean, I really enjoy reselling as a whole. I just really love it. Obviously I don't like listing as much as I do sourcing. But I don't know if there's anything that I really there's nothing I hate about it. I don't like returns. I don't like negative feedback, especially when I don't think it's justified. Like you remember this thing from a video?
Yes.
I talked about. By the way, I did test it. I was going to include it in the video, and I don't think I ever did, but it works. It does work. I
It does
plugged it
work.
in. It's still sitting here. But that kind of thing. But I don't know. I enjoy reselling as a whole way more than my other stuff. And that's why I really want to go full time with it. I don't think there's
Okay.
anything, it's just, I don't know. It's just
Do
easier.
do you have a goal set of when you'd like to make that transition over?
Well, I was really hoping by the end of the year I could be there. But with this roller coaster of sales, I don't know. Because right now, if all my eggs are in the eBay basket, things wouldn't be good. So
Yeah. So that goes to say that you don't do any cross listing or anything.
no, I wanted to get a more substantial eBay store going, and then look at probably doing Mercari. I don't think I have the right stuff for Poshmark, but thought about doing Mercari for sure. But as of right now,
Yeah. Well, here's Alex's little charm. My least thing I like about reselling is the reselling podcast. Don't let him fool you. He loves it. He loves it. But anyway, by the way, if nobody here is subscribed to the Beard King Pickers YouTube channel, he is chasing 1,000 as well. Let's help him get over. He's got a goal to reach the 1,000 subs before the Highway 127 sale this August. So go over there and check out Alex's channel. Give him a sub and thumbs up to some of his videos. He kind of got lax for not putting videos out, but he did just move to Alaska, so he took a break from uploading video. I'm just kidding. He still lives in Nashville. but anyway, he did upload a new video that you should go check out on his channel currently, actually. And I did watch your video, Alex. You saw me comment to it, so there you go. All right. Well, so what is your plans? Do you have any plans on coming to the Highway 127 sale, Mac?
potentially.
Yeah.
I have a lot of irons in the fire, and that's really the sticking point for me.
Right.
I have standing work that has to be covered, and that's the big one right there. So I'm definitely considering it though, because I would like to participate in some of these events.
You'd love it, dude. I'm telling you. And then come and hang out with us at our Airbnb. I mean, it's just going to be great. But
Yeah.
you're like me. It is so refreshing to be able to talk to a person that we've got so much in common. I mean, I've got a lot in common with all my other guests, but you and I are two single dudes, and we're having to do all of this by ourselves. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going on another rant about being single. I'm not going to do that. He and I done that before we went live to one another. So we said everything we wanted to say, and we got it out of our system. So yeah. But yeah, it is tough, man. It's tough to juggle, if you do have a full-time job, and what makes it especially harder being self-employed with a full-time job is self-employed like what you do.
Yeah.
And then you're doing eBay on the side. It makes it even more complicated because even if you own your own business outside of reselling, that business is going 24/7, just like eBay is. I mean, you're still having to answer calls, questions, and handle putting out fires through that particular business or whatever it is that you do. And yeah, it puts you in a huge time constraint, I find.
It really does. I mean, you heard me answer a call before we went live. It's just, I am so strapped for time.
Yeah.
And it's just where I'm at. There's really nothing I can do about it. All I can do is keep pushing on, try to increase the eBay so I can go full time at some point. But yeah, time is at a premium, and that what you gonna do?
That's true. All right, my co-host Shane, Soda City Flips. What's up, fellas? Finally heading home. Yeah, he's been pulling some rank hours at his day job, so he's just now heading to the house, and it's 7:30 Eastern. He and I are on the same time zone, so he's really put in the time today. His day starts at 5 a.m. every day. Yeah, imagine that, dude.
At one point, when I used to drive a straight truck on a route for an industrial company, I had 2 times I started at, depending on the route, midnight and 3 a.m. So I get the whole getting up early thing. Yeah, it sucks. I would be hard pressed to do that. I would take my low eBay sales any day over doing that again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Reselling Woody, I'm going to sleep on the roof of my rental to save a few bucks on a room. Woody is in tornado country. He's up in Oklahoma. Yeah. So, yeah, but the Highway 127, for those of you in chat, you're already familiar with that whole event that we're collaborating with the Two Old Guys Reselling podcast, Caleb of the Old Pass and Josh, the Bama Jaybird picker. And he's from Alabama. I don't hold that against him, but I'm not a Roll Tide dude, and I'm not an LSU dude, but I don't hold that against him. But yeah, we're going to be having that 127 meetup that Friday night. Then on Thursday night, man, do you like to bowl, Mac?
I do. I haven't been in years, but I do like to bowl.
Well, that's another reason why you ought to put a feather in the cap and come down to Crossville, Tennessee. Thursday night, the night before the meetup, we're going to have the Resellers Locker Room Podcast Reselling Bowling Tournament. So bring your balls and bring your best looking bowling shirts. And we're going to split up into teams. We're going to rent some lanes. And trust me, the cam footage is going to be capturing every single play-by-play moment. We may even go live as the tournament is taking place, kind of like our own version of ESPN. And it's going to be a great time for everybody. And I look forward to it, especially being in person with all the guys from the locker room in one room. And at the same time, that's going to be great. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Tickets are only $25. You can get them on eventbrite.com, or you can seek out information on the Two Old Guys Reselling podcast. Also in the locker room videos, we also have a link that you can click on to buy your tickets there. Tickets are limited. Space is limited. Overnight accommodations is super limited. Crossville is a small town. They don't have a whole lot of overnight accommodations. I remember last year when I went, there were a lot of resellers had to get a room up in Knoxville, which was about an hour east of Crossville, because there was no other accommodations available there in town. So you don't want to sleep on that opportunity. But anyway, hardcore picking is what that Highway 127 is, as Woody says. But yeah, absolutely. All right. So what else would you like to talk about, Mac?
I'm open to anything.
Do you ride motorcycles?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
I will tell you a funny story, though, about that.
Okay. All right.
Growing up, we had 3-wheelers, go-karts, and then 4-wheelers when they came out. We never had dirt bikes. My dad always said, they're kind of dangerous, so we're not going to get those. Well, when my son was young, he was probably maybe 4 or 5. This was during the craze of the little gas-powered pocket rockets that came out. Do you remember that? It would have been, trying to remember exactly the year. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get him one. But when it came in, it had no way to adjust the throttle limiter. It was, he could have just went wide open. Well, he's going to kill himself on that. I mean, he's just a kid. So I was trying to rig up this little like governor on the throttle so it could only go so fast. So, I'm a big dude. I'm almost 6 feet tall. I got on this little pocket rocket about that tall to test it out. It didn't work. But I'm cruising through the yard, wide open, came off the driveway onto the grass. Back wheel got the wobble. I buried my shoulder into the ground. Broke my collarbone. There's a little hump right here that reminds me of that. So that was my one and only excursion in the motorcycles. And I refer to that as my little motorcycle accident. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. That's interesting. Well, I ride Harley. I've got 4 of them. Luckily, knock on wood, Lord bless me not to lay a bike over or have a wreck yet. So I've been on it for 6 years, 7 years, and been accident free. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tina with the Lake Exchange. Good evening. Welcome in, Tina. Good to have you here. Mary booked early, so found one in Crossville, but I can't imagine it's going to get harder and harder to book. You're exactly right about that. Let's see. One interesting fact about Alex, the Beard King Picker, is that he used to have another YouTube channel that was quite large, and it was all about riding motorcycles. And he had a ton of subscribers on that channel back when he rode bikes back in the day. Woody says, I just sold a Harley and got another one for sale if anyone's interested. I can't buy no more. Yeah, let's talk about dating, Mac. Let's talk about dating at 51 years old, because that's how old me and you are. You want to start things off? Let's just do it.
Well, dating at any age is hard. Dating at 51 is extremely hard. It's extremely frustrating. And unless you're doing it, you have no idea how bad it is. The pool of quality, eligible people is so minuscule that, it's just enough to make you not want to date. It's horrible. It's
Tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel.
It's up there with the taxes thing. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. You go on dates with people, they can't hold conversations. They don't look like their pictures. I don't know if you've ever did online dating where you go out and you see a picture, she's not bad, and they look nothing like that. Maybe
catfish.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
Yeah. What about this? What about when you got your profile up there and you have a woman that sends you a message, and then you go to look at her pictures, and it says in her profile that she's actually like 47, but she looks like she's in her 70s. Dude,
that is so rampant on dating sites. It is unbelievable. And they use these filters. And they don't look like that without the filter. Even with makeup on, they don't.
I know.
I mean, I'm not against someone using a filter, but that's a bait and switch, clearly.
Well, tell me this. Why do a lot of women think it's attractive for their pictures to be taken and put on their profile with their tongues hanging out?
I don't know.
Why do they think that?
I have seen a ton of that.
Like, why do they think that's attractive? That is not attractive. I mean, maybe we should do a YouTube channel on people 50 years or older on what to do, what not to do when searching for a date or a mate.
See, that they need that. They need to watch that.
Yeah, we should just take them to school. You know what I'm saying? Tina says, well, that was quick. Got my cha-ching. Thanks. Yeah, she got a sale watching the show. Congratulations, Tina. That's awesome. La 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 la. Let's see here. Alex says, I use Ben's pictures on all the dating sites, but I get no dates. Well, I will share this. There's one particular dating site that I've had my profile on for several weeks, and I have about 97 women that has hit the interested and want to meet button. And I'll be honest, I've not paid for this site. I've got the free version where it blurs their photo, where you can't tell who likes and wants to meet you. I'm scared to death that I'm going to go through 90 some of them and I'm going to puke, because none of them are like,
yeah, that one with the fish, I paid for the premium version and I was extremely disappointed. Extremely.
Oh, wow. That's not encouraging. Tina says, I'm okay with being married to the same guy up on 46 years. It works. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Congratulations there, Tina. Absolutely. People are crazy now. Shoot. People were crazy when we were younger, dude. It ain't even changed. It's probably gotten worse. Right, Mac?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the answers are for you and me, pal. The only thing that I've been able to do is I just keep my head down to the grind, work in my shop, list items, cut videos, do the podcast, and let chips fall where they may.
That's right.
What do you?
I agree.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time working. I tell people that between all the stuff I do and personal stuff and, bringing one of my parents to the doctor or whatever. I don't have a lot of time, and I don't have a lot of off time. I'm usually working, doing something. It's very, very rare that I just don't do something work related for just like even a whole day.
Right.
And even editing the videos, that takes me, because I make small clips here and there and then put them together. Editing a video, uploading it, doing a thumbnail, you know how many hours that takes me to do?
I have no idea.
Well, it's a lot. It's usually
It's a lot.
I mean, it's usually at least a couple hours editing and letting it render and all that. But just everything, So I kind of live almost not in a bubble, but like you, I just do my work, do my regular work, do my eBay, do the videos, and I don't do a lot outside of that.
Wow. Okay. Well, we don't want to continue down this road because it's going to get too depressing. So anyway, I guess it's fair to say, Mac, that you've really not been to any in-person reseller meetups yet, have you?
No.
Okay. Have you ever met Lonnie and Candace of the Shed Flips?
I did. I've actually seen them at garage sales, but I don't, I could go say hello, but they're intense. They're there. They're zoned looking. So I don't really want to interrupt them, but last February, I think, or maybe January, they had a garage sale of some of their overstock. And I went to that and I talked to him there and I had him and Candace sign something. But that's the only time I talked to him. And, I told him, I've seen you at garage sales before. And they're like, well, you should say hello. But, I know they're working, so I don't want to interrupt that. So that was really the only interaction I've had with them.
Okay. They're one of my regular channels that I watch. They have an interesting, their relationship's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Really. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's kind of what you and I are after is you have some significant other or spouse or whatever. I don't know if I want to roll the dice getting married again, but anyway, but to have that double relationship, where two of you are working the reselling business together is man, it's got to be a world of difference.
Yeah. You being married, having your spouse be your best friend, working together. Because I know not every husband and wife could work together like that, So
right.
that's really something that I would like to have.
Sure. Here's a question for you, Mac, if you want to read it.
Mac, how many items are you currently listing every day? It really depends. Today, none, but I've been busy the whole day. Yesterday, I probably listed 10. The thing is, I try to make these goals at least 5 per day, maybe 10, but I very often fall short of that. But when I do list, I'm trying to remember what day it was. It was a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. I listed like 20 items or 15 items. So I try to make up for it when I can. So my preferred way to do it is the Rocky Top Picker Draft Bank. But I don't always have time to do that. So I just list when I can. But
don't credit me with that. I didn't come up with that.
You're where I heard doing it like that. So I think you deserve that credit. But it really varies. I don't have a set amount. I just kind of list when I can, and it's usually going to be at least 5 items.
Okay,
but it could be more.
There's another one. You can read that one too.
What's selling for you guys these days? Well, for me, it's anything. I'm an anything seller. Like today, I had 7 orders going out. I think it was 7, and I think 5 of them were books. So some of these books are selling pretty good, but for the most part, it's anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
In particular.
Yeah, I'm an everything seller. But one of the things I've noticed with you, Mac, and your What Sold videos is you're selling all these lotions and all these vitamins and omegas, and I'm thinking, look, dude, I would not even think about grabbing that stuff.
In the beginning I didn't, but I was over at the bin store one day and I comped a couple things and I'm like, man, these things are worth good money. A lot of them aren't. But some of these things, 30 something dollars a bottle. So, of course, you're at the mercy of them having that inventory, and I haven't found it in a while. But some of it's really, really profitable.
It puts the lotion on its skin. Is that stuff expired? Are you checking the expiration dates?
Oh, yeah,
Are you listing it?
I don't buy anything that's either expired or close dated. It's got to have, at least 6 months or a year.
Dude,
if I can go buy a bottle of supplements for like $1, I'll sell it for 20 or 30 or whatever it is.
Oh man, I don't need this rocking chair, Geritol and Medicare. Come to Trailer Trash Flips, where we're going to sell you your Geritol, your Metamucil, and your Omega-3, baby.
Hey, if I can sell it on eBay and make a profit, I'm definitely gonna sell it.
I'm just poking fun, man.
Yeah.
If it's profitable, bro, let her rip, Tater Chip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish I found more of them. They just haven't had them lately.
Every time I watch you and you're pulling that stuff out of those little plastic drawers, I'm like, he's moving a friggin' pharmacy on eBay here, man. I mean, but yeah, it's great, man. There's a good question. Woody was asking, do you sell similars? No. Do you end and sell similar?
Well, I did do my store a few times here recently. Before that, I tried it on a limited basis, just doing a few here and there. And I didn't really see any difference. It may have made a difference. I just didn't notice it. It didn't seem to be, and I wasn't consistent with it. So that could have been the problem too. So I did the store a few times, but I guess the answer really is no. I don't do like, how you do, where you're going to do what's ending today or whatever. I haven't been doing that.
Okay. Now, how many items do you have listed right now?
Just barely over 800.
Okay. I end and sell similar every day. Not the whole store.
Yeah.
But if it's within a few days of expiring, I do not let eBay re-auto list it for me. Because when you end and sell similar, in case you don't know or somebody listening may not know, it gives it a new item number. So it kind of lets it know, hey, this is a brand new item. We need to push it out. So for me, it has lent to consistency in doing that function every day. In addition to dropping new items, newly listed items, not just ending and sell similar and calling it quits. Like yesterday, I rolled 250 items over, end and sold similar over 250 items, but I also dropped new items on top of that. So, yeah, that's a good question. Thanks for that, Woody. Trying to give you a super chat, but my cards declined because I'm a broke reseller, but it is the thought that counts, right? Yeah, it's the thought, Alex. Bless its heart.
What store do you have, Ben? Do you have like the lower one, middle one?
Premium.
Okay. Because what I noticed is after the first, when I ended and sold similar my whole store, when I went to relist everything, I was getting insertion fees because I had used up all my listings.
Yes. So, you have to be careful when you're doing the end and sell similar on the regular that you don't use up your free listings. That you might want to bump your, if you get a certain number in your store, you want to bump your subscription up. But hold up, don't count this out. Bang, we have got, oh dude, I got something coming. Let me get it up for you. We got Chad Wolfman Goodies with a super chat. Let's go with it here. Here we go. Yes, give him a round of applause. Thank you, Wolfman Goodies. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, so when you're ending and selling similar, if that is going to be your daily process, or even if it's not daily, if it's a couple times a week, you can use up those free listings if you don't have a big enough level of a store. So you want to be cautious at that. But what you can always do too is just contact eBay to raise your seller limits. That is another option that you have.
Okay.
They could raise your seller limit.
Yeah.
And I don't know what criteria they base that on, whether they're going to grant you that or not. You might be able to go to the help center on eBay from your seller hub, and they may have a subject you can type in, increase my seller limit, and it may give you the parameters of what they look for in order to grant you that.
Okay.
But that's an option rather than raising your store subscription.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know because I didn't know that.
Okay. Tina says, I sell everything too, lots of clothing, but recently been doing good with books. So I am always scanning books now. Well, Alex of Beard King Picker, Tina, if you've not subscribed to Alex Beard King Picker, he does a lot of book sales. So you want to check him out. Okay. Woody says, Mac, what is your highest priced item that you've ever sold on eBay? That's a good question.
As far as a single item, probably $100 and something, I think. I told you, I'm getting old and I got a bad memory. So there may have been some, something else, but I think as far as a single item, it was maybe $100 and something, and I don't even remember what it was. And I've sold a few things like that. My biggest sale period was a bunch of respirators. I think I had $500 something in respirators. Something wasn't that long ago.
Really?
Yeah. I actually went to the bin store on 2 different occasions, months apart, and bought respirators. The first time I paid 50 cents a pack, and these were Kim Care. These were good ones, and they were selling for like $25 a pack. And wow. I bought a cart full, and they moved quick, so I wish I would have bought more. And then some months later, they had them again. I had to pay $1 for them this time, but with that kind of profit, So I bought every single one of them, and one person bought almost all of them I had. They had one order for like $500 something, I think, and then they bought the rest of them on another order. But I guess if there was anything that I sold for $200 or $300 that would stand out, I don't think there's been anything like that.
Yeah. Well, what I did, this was around Christmas time, before Christmas, I guess, is I had these Hallmark keepsake ornaments that I had collected years ago, the Christmas vacation. I sold to Cousin Eddie's RV, and that thing was a 2009 ornament that I paid $12.95 for. And it clicked the button and it made all his sayings, this is an RV, you know what Eddie says in the movie. Yeah. Sold that thing for $361.60 some cents.
Man.
That was exciting,
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite thing to source and sell? Chris is asking. Easy pickings.
I really don't have a favorite. As long as it's something I can make a profit on, I don't really care. I don't like sourcing clothes just because I don't know that much about clothes. I don't like taking pictures and measuring them and all that. But, another thing I would like to learn about is golf clubs because I don't know anything about golf clubs. But as far as what I source, it can be anything. If I think I can make a profit on it, I'll comp it and see. And it really doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. Woody says, my selling limit is 2,600 items a month or 130,000 a month. Then we got Shane O'Mac. My selling limit is currently, is that $1 million or $1 billion? How many zeros is in $1 million? I think that's $1 million. $1 million or 1 million items, I believe. He ain't kidding because he showed us on our podcast last night. He held his phone up and the phone app was screwed up. I mean, literally his numbers were that large. It was insane. All right, let's see here. Yeah, he's not kidding there. For real.
And here I am scraping by with 1,000 listens a month.
Hey, Lordy. Well, what else you want to talk about, brother? We got a little bit more time here. What do you want to cover?
Well, let's leave the dating and taxes out, but anything else I'm good with. I'm good with.
Who's some of your favorite YouTubers?
Well, I do like Lonnie and Candace at Shed Flips, really just because I can relate with them. A lot of the items like these cookbooks that we got around here and, things like there's been times I've been to garage sales and passed over items. And then I saw they picked it up in their video. And I'm like, stupid, you know. But I like them. I like Rocky Top Picker.
Yeah, you'd better say that, or I was going to kick you out of here.
I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a lot of resellers out there that I don't even know about that I run across their videos and I start watching them. But probably most of the main ones, I watch ADH Dave and I watch some Commonwealth stuff, but I watch Shane stuff. Really, I watch a lot of them. It's most of what I watch on YouTube is reseller content. I do watch some other things out of this niche, but typically I don't think there's any resellers I don't like. If it's reselling content, I'll watch it because I want to learn things to look for. Like I told you with the clothes and the golf clubs, these guys are so knowledgeable about these things, and I want to learn about them. I'm watching all of that I can.
Right. Shane says eBay is doing away with selling limits. I got an email today rolling it out slowly. I'm one of the first to get it for some reason. Yeah, I got an email on that actually. I'd forgotten all about it because I didn't write it down. But yeah, that'll be interesting. To me, if that is true taking place, would that not also get away from the store subscription levels? If they're going to just make it unlimited, why would you need to?
Yeah, they would have to have some kind of good perks or something to get you to pay more for those higher subscriptions.
Yeah. I think it's going to get into pay to play in these subscription levels. The more you pay for a store, the more exposure you might be getting or something. There's all kinds of eBay conspiracies. My gosh. Alex and I, right when we were just brand new starting the reseller locker room, he threw around the idea. He goes, we need to do a whole podcast just on eBay conspiracy theories. Because if you watch a lot of reselling content, just over the last 6 to 8 months, there's a ton of them.
That's right. Everybody's trying to figure this stuff out. And, nobody really knows what's going on here. You might know bits and pieces, but, eBay likes to keep this stuff a deep, dark secret. And that's why I don't even really try to guess what's going on, It would be nice if we knew, but.
Yeah. Okay, Alex never reads his emails. Don't contact Alex by an email. Also, don't contact Mac by Instagram, even though he created an Instagram. He only done it so that he and I could message back and forth. But he is on Instagram, so go over there and hit him up on Instagram because there needs to be lines of communication going on. They will still have insertion fees. I need to dig into the specifics. Yeah. I don't want to read the email. There's a lot of people that hasn't even read the eBay winter sellers update.
I didn't read it. I just listened.
You didn't read it either?
I didn't listen to people on YouTube tell me what was in it.
Well, they've increased the seller fee by 10 cents on items $10 and above. Now, there were people whining about that. And I think I talked about last week on my live about that. I did a little rant on that deal. But anyway. But here's a conspiracy theory. This spins off of that. It has been said numerous times that if you have low dollar items, eBay is not promoting and putting those things, giving it exposure if you have low dollar items. That is a conspiracy theory. If they're wanting us as sellers to get away from low dollar items, wouldn't they make the fees higher on low dollar items to suppress you from selling low dollar items? Because you're not going to make as much. And if that were also true, the last 2 weeks I've sold nothing but low dollar items.
Yep.
And I'm sure people in chat can say the same, right?
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. Treat the algorithm like a customer. Let's see. Alex is saying all my items are $9.99 to beat the system. You know what'd be cool if we could have that buy one get one free option. That would be cool to offer that, you know. But anyway, all right. So you're going to think about joining us at the 127 sale, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here we go. Here's another sale. Tina said I sold a book for $45 last night and I paid 50 cents. Yeah. One of my sales of the week that we talked about on our podcast we recorded last night, which the new episode of the Reseller Locker Room will be dropping tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Be sure to go check that out. If you are a paid member to the Locker Room, when I get this show done, I will be pre-releasing the video, so all of our paid members to the Locker Room will be able to watch it before it releases tomorrow. But one of my sales of the week that I had, got it at my local Goodwill, which luckily for me, my Goodwill is about a mile down the road from where my house is. Paid 99 cents for an early 1990s Atlanta Braves hat. And when I comped it, you know, Terapeak. Do you use Terapeak, Mac?
I've been to it a couple times looking for things that I just couldn't comp.
Okay.
And that's about the extent of it.
All right. Terapeak is there for a great reason, and that's for you to research your sold history on the item that you're looking to sell. So anyway, it now goes back 3 years. It used to only go back 2. Now you can go back 3 years and look for sold history. Well, anyway, this Atlanta Braves hat, I found where it had sold last year, I believe it was, for $495. And of course, you know, anytime you get a comp like that and you only paid 99 cents, you know, you're pumped. I mean, that's what I was. Well, anyway, I listed that thing quite a bit under what the sold comp was. And then it sat for, golly, months. Anyway, got an offer the other day for $100 and I took it. Because anytime I can invest 99 cents and make $100 bill, it's out of here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, yep. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Are you primarily sourcing Goodwills?
I hit my Goodwill a lot because it's just a mile that way. Yeah. And, you know, too, I scour and I need to know this too. Do you source any off of Facebook Marketplace?
I've tried. You know, the last thing I've tried, I can't find anything. I found a few things where maybe I can make a few dollars, but nothing that's worth me going buy it, pick it up, and try to sell it. You know, I just bought new tires for my truck, I don't know, a month and a half ago. Found a week-old set of some nice all-terrains, like $450, you know, like brand new. So for that, it's great. But as far as to resell, I really haven't found too much on there. And I don't look, you know, I'm not on there a whole lot. I do get on routinely to look at the garage sale groups and I will look while I'm on there. But, you know, like I know Shed Flips, I know Candace finds stuff on there sometimes, but I think she's looking at it probably a lot more than I am.
Yeah. Well, I've been able to buy a lot of good bulk buys off of Facebook Marketplace, like the golf head covers, you know, and then recently I bought a lot of these vintage t-shirt collection. So yeah, Marketplace has been pretty good. I mean, you really got to dig down in there and do all your checks and balances to be sure you're not going to get ripped. I always want to meet somebody local to make the exchange. I don't buy and have it shipped to me.
I wouldn't do that.
I do a face-to-face buy. Yeah. Tina says Terapeak is worth looking things up. I sell cotton quilting fabric. Piece that I listed for $12 I found was very rare. It sold for $149. Do not sleep on Terapeak. Very good, Tina. That's a true statement. Scored good cheap shipping supplies on Marketplace. Yep. And we got to do the plug for Shane-O. And you didn't see me on Instagram. I'm now fully monetized on YouTube. So thank you all so much for watching my videos over the last year. It really means the world to me. Yes, Shane.
Congratulations.
And I'm chasing that. I'm lacking very few watch hours on the Rocky Top Picker channel to be in the same position. So absolutely. If y'all want to turn on my channel and hit play all, even if you don't want to hear me, just turn the volume down and just play every one of my videos. Help me with my watch hours. I certainly would appreciate it. I have been grinding on YouTube for well over a year, and it is a grind. It's a grind. But we want to bring everybody with us. We want everybody who starts a YouTube channel here in the reseller community to be successful. That's part of the reason why I want to do these lives with you every week, is I want to bring on other YouTubers and just kind of share who they are, what they're about, introduce them into the community, because we all want to make friends. We all have a common purpose in reselling, and that's what this is all about. So absolutely. Hey, I want to thank everybody that has joined us in chat. Thank you for Wolfman Goodies for the super chat. Very much appreciated, Chad. You're the man, Mr. Rogers. All of our Reseller Locker Room podcast paying members, we appreciate you being here on the cast as well. Mac, is there anything you'd like to say before we close things out?
No, I just appreciate the opportunity to be on here, discuss things, and just really appreciate it. Absolutely.
It's been my pleasure. It's great to be face-to-face with you now instead of looking you on the other side of YouTube.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to help you work on that big pile of stuff behind you and try to get you some more.
The problem is that's just the tip of the iceberg right there.
Maybe I need to come down there. I need to come down there to your house, dude, and hang out for a while. But I'll help you. I'll help you get away from them omega-3s, Metamucils. See if we can get you into some other stuff to make some big money. All right.
All right. That's all right, guys.
My name's Rocky Top Picker. This is Mac Trailer Trash Flips. Be sure to go over and give his channel a subscribe. He's chasing 1,000 subs. We cannot wait to see you next Wednesday, right here on the Rocky Top Picker channel. Peace and love to you. Watch for Reseller Locker Room hitting the airwaves tomorrow, Thursday. Until next time, we're out of here.